Vinsanity, half man, half amazing. At the age of 43, Vince Carter retired last week, setting the NBA record for the most seasons played in one career. Let's go back to when this all started. After spending 3 seasons at the University of North Carolina, Vince was drafted with the number 5 pick in the 1998 NBA draft. And believe me when I tell you, he immediately set the league on fire. He won the 1999 Rookie of the Year award, averaging over 18 points a game, and then led the Raptors to their first ever playoff appearance the following season in the year 2000. And speaking of 2000, a few interesting things happened that year. It was the first time that we could get our hands on a copy of NBA 2K, the original version with AI on the cover, but even AI himself, along with guys like Kobe and Shaq, didn't get more votes for the All-Star game than the 23-year-old Vince Carter. And of course, you can't talk about the year 2000 without talking about that dunk contest.
It's over! It's over, ladies and gentlemen!
Vince put on the most memorable dunk contest performance of all time. And the only problem with this is that most fans, and especially new fans, only remember VC for being a dunker, but there was so much more to his game. I'm Mo, you're watching Hoop Genius, and I'm about to break down some of the moves that VC had in his bag. We're gonna look back at one of his most killer performances to show you that he could do more than just dunk. Whilst nowadays VC is loved by everyone, back in the 2000s, he was hated by fans in Toronto. He demanded a trade away from the Raptors and landed with the Nets, but fans in the Six never forgave him. They held a grudge against him so bad that every time he came back to Toronto to play a game against the Raptors, they booed him on every single possession. We're gonna break down a game from 2008, 4 years after he was traded to New Jersey, and you can hear exactly what I mean.
And here's Vince Carter.
Now you can hear the hostile crowd and pressure he was under. Let's dissect the game and see what he really did. The season before this, he was averaging 25 points on 45% shooting. So as you can see here, a simple pick and roll at the top, and all 4 defenders that are near him are focused on Vince instead of looking at their man, and he finds the easy look for his teammate in the corner. On the wing, guarded by the smaller Jose Calderon, he knows he can easily shoot over him, so he hits him with a jab step, the rip through throws him off balance, then he pulls up and you already know, cash. The defender does a good job not letting him get good position in the mid post, so he's pushed down the 3-point line, but he faces up and then he hits the defender with these long steps, takes it straight to the rack, bang. The ball fake was so quick the defender is thrown off balance, and that's how he blew by him. This time he gets position in the mid post, but it's doubled. He keeps his body in between the defenders and the ball for safety, and then takes it to the hoop for the Attacking from the top, he uses a few through the leg dribbles to set up his defender before using his off arm and his shoulder to create the separation to pull up and splash. Same again here, but with the bigger Chris Bosh guarding him, he attacks downhill and gets the defender backpedaling and then momentum shifting backwards. It's a mismatch against any big man like Bosh, who's wary about Vince Carter getting to the hoop, so he sets him up with some dribble combos, but Bosh gives him a little bit of space because he doesn't want to be on a poster, so Vince pulls up and another splash. The most common play in basketball is the pick and roll, and you can see here how Vince commands the attention of all 5 defenders after he comes off the pick, which frees up his teammates for easy opportunities. On this play, he already knows what he wants to do before he catches the ball. He gets it, plants his left foot and springboards off, attacking at the basket. Man, I wish my knees allowed me to change direction this quick. Here he gets the defender with a little hesitation before using his shoulder to create more contact and get that separation so he can rise for the jumper. It's not just scoring either. Here you can see he gets good position under the bucket to grab that rebound, and he throws the dime for his teammates, really trying to bring New Jersey back into this game. As you can see, they're down big. Now down 10 points, Vince has been scoring, but it's not been enough, so this right now, what you're about to see is a heat check. Not my show on Sky Sports every Tuesday that you need to watch, but he gathers the ball with a jump stop so he can elevate even higher than the defender and hit the perfectly formed 3. Here there's a dribble handoff action and Vince goes straight into that jab step and the rip through that's been so dangerous, but his defender wants to stay with him because he's seen how many jump shots he's been hitting. The other defender comes to help to try and steal the ball from him, and Chris Bosh is staying in the lane so that Vince can't attack the rim. All of this leads to an easy dime. Scoring is easier when you can get yourself open off the ball. Look at the change of pace from Vince here as he gets to the spot he wants, receives the pass from his teammate, the defender turns to look at Vince, so his teammate cuts to the basket. Simple, give and go. Because Vince has been so effective when he's catching the ball and attacking off the dribble, the defender's fronting him to try and stop him from even getting the ball in his hands. What Vince does is he calls for the lob pass over the top, which leads to an easy bucket. He uses his hang time to stay in the air, absorb the contact from the defender, and then lay the ball in. Now down 7 with only 27 seconds left, the defenders don't communicate on the screen, worried about him cutting straight to the hoop, they don't get out to the corner. That's an automatic splash. Now he's going to catch the ball at the elbow with Calderon defending him again. He knows he's smaller and weaker, so he simply blows by him, takes those 2 long steps and lays the ball in with the... That cuts the lead down to 2, but the Raptors come down and score, so the pressure's on, the crowd's booing, the victory is within the sight of Toronto. There's 10 seconds left, a dribble handoff. Calderon is smaller and weaker, so Carter hits him with a crossover, gets past him, takes him to the bucket, and you can see here, instead of trying to dunk on Bosch, put on the poster, he goes for the safe option and lays the ball in. Now down 3 with just 3 seconds left in the game. He's been firing all night long, so you go to the hot hand, Vince Carter, money ball. Toronto are deflated, and you can see just how much it means to VC. Pay attention to how as soon as he gets the ball in his hands, his eyes are locked on the bucket. He never looks away or even blinks for a second. He drains the shot with ice in his veins. Everyone knew who was going to take the shot, but for some reason his defender looked away.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
That gave Vince the fraction of space he needed to get the ball and get his shot up. He flares to the top and sends the game to overtime. He'd been serving buckets to Anthony Parker all night, and he catches the ball here on the mid post, and this is a move straight out of Kobe Bryant's bag. You see him, he backs him down, shoulder shimmy, turn around, fade away, beautiful. On the elbow, reverse pivot, snatch back through the legs, pull up, splash! The game is tied with only 2 seconds left. Watch what happens.
129, 127 in overtime.
But how did he get this bucket? The first player we need to look at is the player down low next to VC. This is who they think VC is going to run a screen off. Instead, this man flares to the corner. The 2 players at the top run a screen action to confuse the defense and also get someone else open if needed. Vince then comes up to set a screen for the screener, which leaves this guy wide open, and then both defenders looking at him. Now that Vince is open, he simply spins, heads to the basket and does what he does best. He takes flight, catches the lob pass and wins the game. Altogether it looks like this. Can you spot each individual element of the play? So as you can see, Prime VC had a bunch of moves in his bag. His flawless footwork that was just effortlessly smooth and his great reads of the game allowed him to absolutely destroy his opponents. Comment below with some other players that you want to see breakdowns of. Make sure you smash the like button, as every YouTuber says. But most importantly, just like VC in this video, make sure you get buckets.